Hi, I'm Nina. I'm the guest on the Germany experience. Stop laughing.
It's the Germany Experience, the podcast about life in Germany as seen through the eyes of outsiders. My guest this week is Nina, and she was a bit surprised by having to introduce herself before the episode started.
Yeah, it's new.
It is new. It's something new I'm trying, Nina. I'm keeping things fresh.
I know.
Keeping things spicy.
But it's like I've been here so many times, my brain couldn't process it. And I know you told me 3 seconds before that I have to do it, but I'm like,
yeah. I told you have to do it.
What was my job again?
I said, "Okay, Nina, go," and you just stared at me for a few seconds on the.
It was like, what?
Nina is back, and we're going to be talking about whether the Germans are superstitious or not, because there are a few things that indicate that they might be. Before we get to that, all of that we're going to discuss with Nina. Nina, I have to tell you, I've been very bad.
Why have you been bad?
I'm glad you asked because you're a great guest. I just want to say that because I haven't posted an episode for the last 3 weeks, and I don't know, like, I guess people either don't care or I did get some emails asking where the episodes were. So the reason...
You did get emails asking where the episodes are?
I got one.
Oh, okay.
Which counts. I assume that one email counts as the thoughts of many multitudes of people like, where is Shaun this week? No, I think the most people don't even notice when there's not an episode. But I wanted to say that I had some episodes lined up, but then a few weeks ago I got Heuschnupfen, which is like really bad allergies. And the day that I was supposed to interview some guests, I was unable to do it because I was sneezing and coughing and all the rest of it. This was actually on the...
that would have been some very amazing ASMR.
It just...
like the sniffles?
Allergy ASMR. Yeah, I bet you there's like a podcast with allergy ASMR somewhere out there. And so I wasn't able to record those, and then I wasn't able to catch up in time. So then last week there wasn't an episode. But now we're back. Nina is here this week, and I've got like 2 episodes lined up already for the next 2 weeks. So at least for the next 2 weeks.
For the next 2 weeks, you're safe.
Yes. And before we get going, there's 2 things I want to say. The first thing is, if you don't know, Nina and I have a podcast together that's in German, where we talk about things about Germany and German culture and German history, and also just stuff from our private lives.
That's when we have no other topics.
Yes, we actually don't have a focus. That's the whole thing, is we don't have a focus for our podcast. And we end up talking about whatever we talk about, and it's called Die Deutsche und der Ausländer. And there's some big changes coming up for that later on in the year.
Yeah, but we're waiting for after our summer break.
We're waiting for after our summer break, and there's going to be a summer break. So that was the one thing. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, Nina, is how do you feel about spiders?
What? Is there a spider?
Is there a spider behind me right now? No, there's not.
That's a weird question.
Are you okay?
I'm okay with them.
You don't care?
My boyfriend yells at me because I have to save them. He wants to. He says he's not afraid of them. He is afraid of them.
Right.
So he just wants to smush them. But he's like, you got 10 seconds to bring this thing outside.
Before it dies.
But then last time I visited him in May, there was a tiny little spider, like a daddy long legs, in the bathtub. And I wanted to save it. And he just flushed it down the drain. I got so upset. I didn't talk to him for like an hour or something. Because it's a daddy long legs. Like, how can you hate like daddy long legs?
Yeah. I have a question for you. What do you, because I was talking to my daughter about daddy long legs the other day. And she asked me what are they called in German. What are they called in German?
There's different names.
If you tell me Papa Langbein, I'm going to end this call right now.
No, I don't think so. But what we call them where I'm from in Augsburg is Habergaukel.
What?
Habergaukel.
Habergaukel?
Yeah, but I think that's a very localized word.
Yeah, I guess that's in your dialect, whatever you speak in Augsburg.
Probably. Oh, we speak our own thing.
Yes, you do.
But for your daughter, I look up the right name so you can tell her. Why did she call it Papa Langbein?
No, I didn't know what to tell her. I just told her I'll have to ask someone. So I'm asking you now, Nina. But the reason I asked you about spiders in general,
you can call them I think the more correct name is Weberknecht.
Weberknecht.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like some kind of local business or something that I would have to call when I need plumbing done or something. I don't know.
I think that the more correct name is
Weber-
Weberknecht.
Weberknecht. Was ist ein Knecht? Does Knecht mean anything?
It was a
you're-
servant.
Yeah.
It was a servant. So you're saying he like the name of these things is tailor's servant. Because maybe they hung around in like tailor shops.
Right. Well, this is quite interesting because you're right. I looked up Weberknecht on Google right now, and it is exactly a daddy long legs. But I've just learned that there's an English word that I don't know about called harvestmen. So I guess daddy long legs is kind of the nickname.
Oh yeah, harvestman. And I think I heard about this before, and I think it's the creepiest name.
I know, it makes
because it sounds like it harvests your soul or something.
Harvestmen. Jesus.
My dad calls them harvestmen. I'm like,
that makes sense. Okay, because I've never heard that before, and when I read it now, I'm like, Jesus, sounds like this is like one of the most poisonous spiders known to man, which it is actually. It is,
but it can't pierce your skin.
But it can't pierce the skin. Yeah. So I am terrified of spiders. Personally.
Oh, really?
I cannot handle them, and I've come to learn to live with harvestmen, daddy long legs. Like those, I can now be. I'm fine with them. They're okay because I like them.
Cute.
I wouldn't say cute. I wouldn't go that far, but I like them. But generally, I get freaked out by them. I do not like them. Even the small ones, I don't like them. Even if they, like somebody says, oh, but that's not poisonous. It doesn't matter. If you're a freaking spider and you have 8 legs, I'm sorry.
So, but what? Because I grew up in Germany, like nothing here is out to kill you. Like we have like two types of we have like 2 types of snakes. One of them is poisonous, but like after 2 hours, you're fine. You don't even, like, should you go to the hospital? Yes. Will you survive without the hospital? Also yes. And then we only have one spider, I think, that's poisonous, the Kreuzspinne, the cross spider.
Okay. But also, that's not going to kill you.
It's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
So what I didn't think about, but what my dad always tells me when I go to the US, watch out for this spider and watch out for that spider. And I'm like, I don't even know what they look like.
Yes.
So I'm sitting on the balcony of my boyfriend in Kansas, and then suddenly there's I didn't know these things exist. A jumping spider, Shaun.
Oh no, I hate those things. Those are the worst.
I didn't know these things exist. So I'm not afraid of them, but do you know how creepy it is when this thing just like jumps like a meter and a half towards you? And I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, that is like, you know what, they made this movie, what was it? It was called Piranhas. It was like a really bad horror movie called Piranhas. And the second part was piranhas with wings. They they got into the writers' rooms and thought, how can we make piranhas really scary? Give them wings. How do you make spiders, which are already pretty terrifying, worse? I know, we'll make them jump. And they jump really ridiculously far. No, I'm sorry. I am out. That is not cool. That is uncool, and I'm not having any of it. At any rate, the reason I asked you about the spider story, Nina, is because there was a news story a while ago about a woman who was driving along. It wasn't me. She called the police. She was driving along. It was in Flensburg somewhere, and this huge. Apparently, it was quite.
Yeah, it was a huge wolf spider. I read about it. I thought she crashed a car.
No, she didn't. She pulled over and she called the police, and she had to get the police to get the spider out of the car. And that is what I would do. Is all I'm going to say.
You call the police.
I would call the police. I think she had the right response to like get this thing out of my car now, please. Thank you very much. Yeah, and there's also other stories about spiders resulting in Feuerwehreinsatz, where like fire brigade.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So yeah, I found that interesting. But now, Nina, let's get to our topic that we're actually
because I was wondering how you tie spiders into superstition.
Nope, I'm not that smart with my my segues. That is got nothing to do with anything we're going to talk about. What we are going to talk about, as you said, is superstitions. And it's something that came up on our other podcast. Like I mentioned, that we've got another podcast together called Die Deutsche und der Ausländer. And on that podcast, we spoke about fairly recently Eisheilige. And that happens every year, kind of the middle of May. I can't remember.
Time,
yeah. So, okay, first of all, the Eisheilige are like the ice saints or something, the snow saints, the ice saints. And there are 5 saints in Catholic religion that just have that day as their day kind of thing. And generally, in the olden days, like the Middle Ages, during these specific, like middle of May, there would always be one last cold snap before spring truly arrived. And that meant that you could lose crops if you planted too early. You could lose a lot of livelihood if you made a mistake, because you would have all your stuff planted, then suddenly there'll be this frost, and then you would lose everything, and then that would really suck. So the farmers always had a problem. Like if you planted too early, you had the risk of losing everything, but if you plant too late, you don't
also lose it because
you lose things when it comes to harvest. Yeah. So yeah, it was very complicated in Middle Ages time. But what I didn't realize was this is still a thing now.
It's still a thing, yeah.
Because I was planting peppers, right? Paprikas.
And your neighbors yelled at you?
My neighbor said, don't do it before the Eisheilige. And I'm like, what are you on about? And they truly believed that you have to wait for the Eisheilige to be done, because there was a chance that there's going to be this frost. And not just a chance, but a likelihood. So I went and looked at the statistics and the data, and I saw that you actually there's nothing in the last like 50
Shaun,
years.
You can't fact check your German neighbor's superstition.
I can. But this is the thing, Nina. Germans are so like very logical, very reasonable people, which I find is interesting. And then you come across something like this Eisheilige thing.
But okay, so we don't sell the Eisheilige as superstition. We call them as farmer. We sell them as farmer rules. We're marketing it towards a logical mind. Okay,
right. So you've got a superstition, but you're selling it. You're packaging it as a rule. That is also very German, I must say. That does sound like a very German thing to do. That you would package a superstition as a rule. But okay, so that was the thing that surprised me, because
that's how we started on the topic. Yeah.
So I was talking to them about it because they were going to plant these paprikas as well that they have, and they would not do it before the Eisheilige. So you know what? I thought, screw it, I'm going to do it.
You're going to plant it
right now. So I did it on the 13th of May, which is when the Eisheilige was supposed to start. My peppers are fine. There was no frost.
Your peppers ripen like 3 or 4 days before your neighbors, and then in a couple of months you can just brag about it.
I'm going to be rubbing in their faces. I'm going to be like, how's this paprika, guys? I'm like eating it whole in front of them. I've got some paprikas. How about your guys' paprikas, which you planted a week later, huh? But it was just so surprising. And then it got me thinking, and this is also something that we spoke about on our other podcast, Nina, is this whole thing. So my question to you is, because I've got some other examples that you already know about, but my question to you is, are Germans superstitious in general? Would you say?
No.
So if I
just think we're better safe than sorry. Like we prefer to be safe than sorry.
So you're hedging your bets.
Yes, and also I think a lot of people don't think about when they do these things, or when they say, it's like just automatically like saying stuff, and it's ingrained. It's not that people believe in it.
I don't know, Nina.
Well,
I disagree.
My mom. Okay.
I disagree. So
I think a lot of younger people don't believe in it.
No, I'm really? Sorry. You're dead wrong. So let's say, Nina, that it's your birthday in 2 days' time. And I
don't like that. But that's being rude. That's just being plain rude.
But why is it being rude? The whole reason. Okay, so the thing about this is, in Germany, you do not wish someone happy birthday before it's their birthday. So their birthday could be tomorrow. And let's say today's a Friday, you're having a birthday on a Saturday, and we're working together. And I want to say happy birthday for tomorrow, Nina, because I'm not going to see you. You're going to be having your own birthday thing.
But I'm not older yet. I'm old yet. Why would you?
I'm going to say happy birthday for tomorrow. This is something that is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer in like English or US or South African culture.
It's being rude.
It's not being rude. It's being cool, because like if you're a good friend of mine, I will phone you on the day and wish you. But if you're a colleague of mine, I mean, I would still. I'm not going to wait till Monday. I'm going to say, have a nice birthday today. That has been polite. That's been very nice. I'm wishing you a happy birthday for tomorrow, that I'm not going to speak to you. But Germans do not like that. If you do that, the Germans freak out.
You can always say, have a great party tomorrow.
You could. That's what's ridiculous about this, Nina. You can say, have a good weekend, wink, wink, and everyone knows that you're actually saying happy birthday to the German. Or you can say, have a good party. Have a good party, and everyone's okay with that. But if you say happy birthday for tomorrow, almost, I think 100% of Germans will freak out.
In what other occasion do you preemptively congratulate someone on something?
Birthdays in every other country other than Germany.
But that's why would you, like, it's like you're getting a promotion tomorrow. You're not going to jinx it by saying have a good promotion tomorrow.
Hang on, Nina. What did Germans say before Sylvester? They say ein guter Rutsch before it's even happened, right? Nina's thinking. You would say ein guter Rutsch. Yeah, I've been wished ein guter Rutsch on the weekend where I'm leaving to go and have.
But it's also different because when you're wishing a gute Rutsch, you're wishing a good slide into the year. So it's like something you do.
But that's what I'm saying. Happy birthday. Have a happy birthday. Feier gut. Have a good time. Have a good year.
Saying. You can say have a good time, but
yeah, good. But you cannot say happy birthday. So the reason for this is the Germans believe that wishing someone
it's bad luck.
In the old days, that it's bad luck, right?
It's jinxing it.
But do you believe that, Nina?
That you jinxed my birthday? Yes, I do believe you.
Okay, but you just told me you're not superstitious. Do you see what I'm talking about? And this is not you, Nina. This is not you. This is every single German. And I find it the most amazing thing. The most reasonable, logical people. You are a reasonable, logical person. I know this because I know you. And yet, like every German has this thing. You cannot wish them happy birthday.
No, because you'd be jinxing it.
But you can't jinx something if it's superstitious. You guys are very, very superstitious about it. It's very strange. So for everyone who's new to Germany, don't wish a German happy birthday.
Don't. You'll lose a friend.
Yeah, you'll lose a friend. And that's the last thing Ausländers want to do because it's so friggin' difficult to make friends.
I was about to say, especially if you just got here.
Yeah, so play your cards right, people. Play your cards right. It's better to forget the birthday. It's actually better to forget the birthday than to wish them early.
Yes.
Amazing.
I will sign that one.
Oh, I love it so much. It is one of the biggest conundrums and contradictions that I know about Germany is this whole thing. The other thing was looking at people in the eyes when you say Prost, when you're about to drink an alcoholic beverage.
Okay, yes. I don't know if you really want to categorize it as being superstitious, but you know where the tradition comes from, right?
Yeah, tell me.
From the Middle Ages when people would poison you. So you were like staring them down to see if they're like being deceptive. So that's where it comes from. Mm-hmm. It's more about intimidation than superstition. But if you don't get it right, you'll have 7 years of bad sex. So that's a superstition.
But it's not superstition.
If you get it wrong, not only will you be poisoned, but you will also have bad sex.
Jesus, that is bad. Can you imagine you survive your poisoning and then you have 7 years of bad sex? Just kill me.
Years of bad...
Just kill me.
Do it right next time, please.
So that is something else that that I can see is trending more towards tradition. It's just something that I think Germans are used to doing.
Yes.
When they Prost is that they look at you. But I've even seen that Germans sometimes forget. Either they forget to look you in the eye, or if they do, they also
forget.
Yeah, I've had sometimes. If someone's talking, I will admit it's very rare though.
And like when drinking, also it's not only about not looking in the eyes. It's also like you don't cross arms when you cheers. But right. It's also just bad luck. Like this has no roots in the Middle Ages. I think you don't cross arms. You don't do it.
So there's a lot of German tradition that's based on superstitions that people still believe.
You might be right. You might be right.
Yeah. So it's like this weird conundrum, this weird contradiction that you guys have. I like it. I like it here in Germany. Don't get me wrong, but it's weird. It's very weird. I would think that the German minds that I know would say, well, of course that's ridiculous. Let's just stop it. And I would think, like, coming back to the birthday thing, that there would be some people who are like rebellious against the whole traditions thing, and they would say, you can wish me before my birthday, but literally I have zero.
What if you do it and then you get in a horrible car crash?
And that would just be my luck as well. It would be my luck where I wish a German happy birthday before their birthday, and then they die.
And then a German gets, I didn't say die, but then they get in a horrible car crash.
So that's
what I'm saying. I'm not sure if it's superstition, but it's like better safe than sorry. Like don't test it.
Okay. So you're not going to, that's fair. You're not going to, I don't believe it, but I'm not going to test it out.
There's one superstition I test out every time just because it drives my mother insane. So I don't know if this is purely German, but it's a thing. If you buy new shoes, you cannot put the shoes on like a desk or a table or on a counter.
That's weird.
And so like you're coming back from shopping and then I just like put everything on the counter and my mom would absolutely flip out.
Yeah.
Don't put new shoes on now. And I do that on purpose now. I haven't died yet, so I'm knock on wood, but
So that's also a bad luck thing if you put your brand new shoes on the table before
brand
you've
new
worn.
shoes. Apparently dirty shoes don't matter, but brand new shoes, don't
Okay.
put them on a table, a desk, a counter space, nothing elevated.
Yeah. Interesting. So
But yeah,
like
that's
I do
one
that all
I
the time.
rebel against.
Yeah, so that Nina's down with, but not wishing before her birthday.
No.
Shoes on the
I'm
table.
not messing
fine.
with other people's lives.
And don't want to have your life messed with. So but that is something I don't know if that's a German thing but I've never heard of it, at least in South Africa. I don't know if it's something that maybe
I don't know if it's a German thing.
Yeah,
but and only a German thing. So.
And like things like that, I think, or maybe the older generation is more observant of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Another thing that I learned from you in that episode that we did is that glass shards are good luck.
Yes. So if you drop not only glass, but like a plate, so ceramic counts as well. If you drop something, usually you'll be like, "Oh my God, sorry," and then the German response will be, "It's okay. Shards are like lucky, unless you break a mirror."
Yeah, mirrors are different.
Break a mirror. But
that's also the same in all other cultures, or in many other cultures as well. At least in US, UK, South Africa, if you break a mirror, it's bad luck. 7 years of bad luck.
Yeah. 7 years of bad luck. But then any other shards are good luck, and it's like goes this far that and like traditional wedding tradition is that the night before your wedding, you have, instead of bachelorette parties or bachelor parties, we used to do something called Polterabend, which is basically noise night, and you just smash stuff for good luck.
Those are fun parties.
It's fun parties. I like Polterabend. It's nice to smash stuff. But now that I'm thinking of it, like even I don't think it's a purely German thing, because at Jewish weddings they also break I don't know if it's a glass or a cup or something.
Okay.
So it might be an international thing that shards are lucky.
Yeah, but for example, at the Polterabend, I went to a Polterabend. Friends
They'll
of ours
ask you to bring stuff.
They asked us to bring porcelain stuff, but specifically porcelain stuff.
Were you the one that told me about the toilet seat?
Yes. So we went to this Polterabend where friends of ours were getting married, and then this was our first, obviously, experience of the whole German wedding thing and all the wedding traditions that come along with that. And we went along to this Polterabend. They told us to bring something porcelain that we would smash, and then you just smash the stuff. So like they had a lot of guests and there was just porcelain everywhere. And of course, one German being German brought along a full toilet bowl, like a complete toilet that he wasn't using anymore. And he brought that and he smashed that.
I hope it was a new toilet and not a used toilet.
No, I think it was old. I don't think it was new. I think it was one that he'd removed. So it's not something you would want smashed in your...
No, I don't want that smashed on my wedding.
No. So, but this was the week before the wedding at their house. They had it at their house. And it was something that they did instead of a Junggesellenabschied, which is the bachelor party equivalent in German. And the reason that they do that, I only learned later, was because like when you told me that glass shards or porcelain shards are good luck. So good luck. By breaking this porcelain,
accumulating a lot of luck.
Yeah. So, but that's not something that people do very often anymore, is it?
Polterabend, no. Yeah. But for example, I'm strongly for, like, I want to do it. I don't want a stupid bachelorette party.
Yeah, I would do that instead of the bachelor, because the couple is together. Like I've never,
and it's all the friends.
Yeah. Why do you separately? This is something that maybe I'm very lame about this, but I've never understood why you have this separate.
Me neither, Shaun. Me neither. And I also think a lot of it like stems from toxic relationships, because it's your last night out with the boys. But why would a marriage be the end of your boys' night out?
It shouldn't be the last night of the boy. And like, what are you going to do if it's your last night out with the boys? Like that? No, it's just silly. And this Polterabend is really cool because everyone comes together. Yeah. It's fun to smash things, and it's also fun to have everyone.
And it's nice, especially so I know this for example from my parents' weddings, because so my dad's American, my mom's German, and a lot of their friends didn't know each other, so they had the Polterabend I think 1 or 2 days before their wedding at my grandparents' house, and so people already like got to know each other. So at the day of the wedding, it wasn't like all strangers, even the ones that came over from the US. They were like, I remember you. Exactly. We had a couple of drinks.
Yeah. So exactly. So when you get to the wedding, you already know some people, and even if not, you're like your Freundekreis, your friend circles of the two couples come closer together on the Polterabend because everyone meets each other
and actually, so also, I mean, we're talking about superstitions today, but usually at the Polterabend or during the Polterabend, because it's usually the night before the wedding, so your friends try to play tricks on you. So what they, for example, did to my parents while my parents were at my grandparents' house celebrating. They went into their apartment and unscrewed all the light bulbs except for the one in the fridge.
which is nice of them, I think, to leave the fridge one open.
Yeah, so
working.
They had to go on a treasure hunt looking for their light bulbs. Or then the next day they filled my grandparents' driveway with sawdust.
Right.
So.
But that's also another. I think that's a good topic for another time, Nina. Is wedding traditions, because there's a lot of wedding traditions in Germany that's unique to Germany.
We should do one on that one.
Yeah, I'm making a note, which is going to be forgotten about.
Probably I should investigate before this, because I'm pretty sure behind of all the traditions is some kind of superstition.
I have no doubt. And it is the case in other cultures as well. I think a lot of traditions that have become tradition became tradition because of superstitious beliefs. But in a lot of cases, people don't still believe them. But what I find funny about that happy birthday thing is Germans still, honestly.
Oh, I believe that with my whole being. You don't do that.
Well, you can wish me before my birthday, Nina.
I will not.
You can. I'm not going to die.
Because what if you die?
I'm not going to.
You're German now, Shaun.
Let's do it. We'll test. We'll test in August.
You can test this with someone else.
You're not going to be. Look at this. It's amazing. It is incredible how much you believe this. I can one of the most logical people I know.
I will not test it. I will not put it to the test. It will not be me. I will not be the one at your funeral being like, yeah.
That was me.
I guess it's true.
I wished him before his birthday. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everybody.
Maybe there's no insurance payout if I can prove that it's because you requested to you wished the happy birthday early. Maybe it's somewhere in the Kleingedruckte in your life insurance or something.
Sorry. Doesn't get paid
if the person has requested to be wished happy birthday.
Yeah, okay. Oh my God. And then, Nina, there was one other tradition that I learned that is kind of a superstition, which is similar to, I think, superstitions in other countries as well, about the what the Germans call the Schornsteinfeger, or
the chimney sweeper. The chimney sweeper is good luck. And probably, I think people believe that because when the chimney sweeper came, your house wouldn't go up in flames. So,
which I think is practical. It's like it literally is saving your lives by cleaning your chimneys. Yeah.
But in Germany, usually they still wear their traditional uniform, or at least a jacket, which is like a completely black uniform, but then it has golden buttons.
Yeah.
And you rub the golden button for good luck. And you just don't. Okay, if you want to try this, you can. Like, all the chimney sweeper know this, but just like ask them before. Like, don't just touch the button, because that's weird.
That's what I was going to ask. That's what's going to ask, Nina. Like, if one of the Ausländer that listens to this show is walking down the street,
just go up to them and ask them if you can rub the.
So you should ask them
for good luck. Yeah,
and they'll know what you're talking about.
Yes,
you won't be the first.
100%. You will not be the first and only person. And actually, it makes them. Like, in my experience, it makes them really happy when people still request this. Okay. And the chimney sweeper at my parents' place, it's very funny, because when I still used to live with my parents, somehow he always timed the chimney sweeps like a week or so before I traveled abroad for exchange semesters, living abroad and stuff. So he's like, I'm your good luck charm. And I'm like, oh, yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
And the same when I moved out, like the week before I moved out, he came to, he's like, where are you going? I'm like, permanently moving out. He's like, oh, better rub 2 buttons.
That's amazing. So they know about it, and
they know about it, and it makes them happy.
I'm very disappointed, Nina, because I have chimney sweeps that come out here where I am in the village. They don't wear that uniform. They just wear like the normal workers' uniform. There's no buttons. They usually
have their jacket somewhere. Ask them.
There's no hats. There's no hats, Nina.
I wouldn't wear the stupid hat. But ask them if there's like a button you can rub.
I'm not going to ask our chimney sweeper.
Have your daughters... Okay, send your children. Children are always more innocent. Have your children
That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. I'm going to send my kids to ask them,
and
do you have your golden buttons?
Do you have your golden buttons?
Okay. I'm going to do that next time the chimney sweeps come.
Always send the children for things that scare you.
Nina, it is as always, a lot of fun to have you as a guest on the German Experience to explain these things. So I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me again.
And I'm sure it's not going to be the last time.
I'm pretty sure.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. This is the end of the episode. I'll speak to you next week.
That was almost as bad as my intro, Shaun.
It was almost as bad as the intro. It was worse, in fact. Your intro was still kind of charming. That's it for this week. Auf Wiederhören.